Imagine if you were listening to the radio and you heard a song you never heard before, and then the DJ came on and talked about something that nobody ever talks about on the radio, and then he had somebody that you recognize as a guest. That's the show.
Welcome into the first hour of what is this thing called jazz, Adventures in Modern Music. I am your musical host, L.A. Eminari III, and we'll be here today for another 3 hours.
I think the thing that makes the station successful as it is the fact that it's truly, purely one of the only student-run stations with almost no interference from the university.
My favorite part about DJing, it's probably that I can come in every other week and really try to condense my tastes into like 2 hours. There's a variety of formats. There's like a folk format, classical, jazz, rock. I'm on the rock format, but this isn't rock music. I mean, this is experimental electronic music. They just want you to play whatever.
At the beginning of our station meetings, everybody goes around and says what their show is. And when you hear people describing what their shows are, it's incredible, you know. And if it was just the college students, it wouldn't be that, you know. It's a diverse, bizarre, idiosyncratic group of people who are really committed to independent media and to the arts in Chicago in a really special way.
As far as the diversity of music, you really can't beat HPK. You'll hear stuff that you would never hear anywhere else on the radio.
WHPK is a never-ending story. We are always trying to be and stay relevant. Our underlying goal is to keep this station sounding different from any other radio station on the spectrum in Chicago, or now anywhere else in the country.
When you want to hear cutting-edge stuff, you're basically going to hear it here. Before you even hear it to the big station, we'll wind up playing it first. I've given a lot of people good breaks with their new music here at HPK because the big stations won't play it, and we do.
The first time I listened to WHPK was an accident. I was listening to WBEZ. They used to play jazz at night, overnight. And we were at a friend's house drinking. It was like high school or something. And JP Chill was playing Public Enemy. Public Enemy had just came out. I was like, wow. I've been hearing about Public Enemy, but, you know, this dude is playing it and curse words and the whole thing is like, wow, what station is that? WHPK.
Rap format historically has been super influential, has given a venue to these artists who were not being played on commercial radio very, very early on in their careers.
In the Midwest, there was nobody doing what JP Chill was doing. All the records that are now classics, all the records that are now standards in hip-hop, JP was playing them first. And they weren't standards and they weren't classics. So if you heard Beastie Boys, that was the first time you heard it in Chicago. If you heard Public Enemy, that was the first time you heard it. You had stations that would not play rap music in Chicago at all. Had no desire to play it. JP Chill didn't care because he was going to play it because he liked it. One of the most famous battles ever is between Common and Kanye West. Happened during JP Chill's show. And I guess the two of them had some kind of beef or something. It happened. And it's on tape somewhere. And it happened. And it was not friendly at all. It was very, very direct, very blunt. And those guys are best of friends now.
Pure Hype is one of the coolest things happening in the Chicago rock scene, I think, consistently. Amazing opportunity for people to get to see these bands for free in such an intimate scene. And there's also like a lot of records that have come out based on Pure Hype recordings. Galactic Inmate released one, I think that was probably like 2003, that became pretty popular. But there's a bunch of recordings that have been released from Pure Hype that have now become like popular records, so that's one thing.
Just the basic access to the station is fantastic because it gives you a little bit more clout and it makes you different than a lot of other people. And you're not necessarily a reporter. And as Moira said, you know what I'm saying, you come here, you have a lot of freedom. That's what makes HPK really special.
The thing about HPK, it's become so internalized, like, you know, like in my blood, so to speak.
You know, it's sort of made me pretty much who I am.